up in the smoke. Here comes Nick Hamilton for the Cavaliers as we move along to 174. It'll be Hamilton and Collin Carrigan for North Carolina here inside John Paul Jones Arena. The Tar Heels grabbing control, winning the last two bouts at 157 and 165 with Root and Hepner. And now this battle between Carrigan and Hamilton.
And this is one, if you're UVA, you've got to have, right? A guy who's been a former ACC champion, blood round last year, was so close to getting on the podium, and a guy that has had a lot of success in his career, right? 4 Nebraska state championships, Fargo national title. Remember seeing Hamilton for the first time in his wrestle-off his freshman year. I tell you, he looks like a whole different person now. Definitely put on some size to move up to this weight class.
Yeah, two-time NCAA qualifier, 165 ACC champ 2 years ago. 4-1 in duels is Hamilton this year. However, he did fall to Matty Singleton of NC State 7-1 a week ago. Singleton number 5 in the nation.
And this is one that the Tar Heel staff circled. They know who Hamilton is. They know that he's a guy that is a leader for the Cavaliers, a captain for the UVA Cavaliers. So a win here for the Tar Heels would be huge. Kind of a momentum stopper, you could say. You know, taking out one of your leaders on your team.
Christian, you mentioned the young lineup for the Tar Heels. Here in these first 5 bouts, we've seen a lot of freshmen, a lot of redshirt freshmen early on.
Mostly freshmen and newcomers for the Tar Heels, so something we're going to see a lot of. Carrigan, a guy that, you know, the staff says he just puts himself in a position to be the guy. He does everything right in the room. He competes really hard. He shows flashes of brilliance, and someone who Tony Ramos could admire, being from the same area of the Chicagoland, went to the same club as Tony Ramos did growing up. He's trained by Izzy Martinez, one of the best club coaches, not only in the nation, but in the world. Coach of Kennedy Blades, Olympic silver medalist in 2024 in Paris. Looks like we'll have a scoreless first after some good hand fighting. And
now you mentioned all the great pedigree Carrigan comes from, this North Carolina team, and fusing the youth, as we talked about, including Simcox and Roots, who we have already seen tonight, and Askew.
So, you know, just about everyone we've seen besides Hepner for the Tar Heels has been a freshman. So you got all freshmen and a 6-year guy.
And yet they're 12th in the country. It shows you how well this coaching staff has prepared these guys, and still the young moments of their careers.
And Tony Ramos said, these guys just don't know that they're not supposed to win, right? And the movement of youth in college wrestling has really been incredible. You see, you know, the young, rambunctious freshmen for Oklahoma State. You know, they've got top two guys and true freshmen. You just saw Jax Forrest leave high school and join Oklahoma State. Just a great example of what college wrestling looks like after all these 6th, 7th year guys that we saw with COVID years and medical red shirts. And, you know, for so many years we saw these you know, guys who already had a 401k and got kicked off their parents' health insurance. Now you've got guys who barely just got their driver's license, and, you know, they're really driving college wrestling to, in my opinion, new heights. It's reinvigorated the sport after what we've seen for so many years. And Hamilton strikes with a takedown and takes a 4-0 lead, and a big takedown with 50 seconds left. Curious to see whether he tries to commit to the ride or gets back up to his feet. Mentioned earlier Evan Henderson joining the staff for the for the Tar Heels, returning to his alma mater. The Cavaliers got one of those guys too, and Michael Batista, someone that I have known for many, many years. Just an awesome guy. He really kind of fits the mold of Coach Garland's staff, a really just an all-around great person. Batista actually moved to Texas after college and was running a strength training program, and got the call from Garland and decided to come back to Charlottesville and be on the staff for his alma mater. So a great role model for these young Who's. See a guy who's found success and returns home.
Now Hamilton's takedown gives him the 3-point edge going in to period 3. Here's next week's Thursday night ACC Network women's basketball doubleheader. The star Hannah Hidalgo and number 23 Notre Dame host Miami at 6 Eastern. Then India Navarre leads North Carolina's balanced attack against Talea Walker and Georgia Tech. Should be another great night of hoops. The Irish just jumping back into the top 25. They lost to Louisville by 13 yesterday, but Hidalgo 24 points away from reaching 2,000 in her career. Certainly a reason to watch. As we go to the third here, Hamilton with a 3-point cushion. Make it 2.
Impressive stat you said there. Hidalgo almost reaching 2,000 points in her career. I don't think in my 31 years of life that I could have scored 2,000 points even in pickup games or playing on an empty court against no defenders. So impressive feat.
Well, we have the free throw lines open on both sides here at JPJ, outside of the mats if you want to get some practice.
It would be a rough day to embarrass myself in front of this crowd here.
All right, what are the objectives here of both competitors here? Final minute.
All right, Hamilton, just kind of more of the same, right? He's been hand fighting hard, getting to low-risk attacks. Carrigan's got to get after it. He's got less than a minute to go, and he's got to start his sprint early. Hamilton, a guy who good hard-nosed defense. Look for a re-attack there, and looked like he almost broke his back there as Carrigan. Good job of knowing where the edge was and getting out of bounds. Does Carrigan, but this is kind of what Hamilton wants to look for, right? Like, you know that Carrigan's got to go, so just stay in good position, keep your head in the fight, move your hands and move your feet, and look for those re-attacks like he did on that last sequence.
Riding time non-factor here, just 3 seconds on the board for Hamilton. 14 seconds to go here in this final period. Hamilton holding on to a 2-point advantage.
And the first stall call for Hamilton, but don't think it's going to be enough, and a must-win for the Cavaliers. Goes in their favor, puts them back in position to compete here. So it'll be 9-6 heading to the halfway point of this duel.
5 bouts, 5 decisions. 3 to North Carolina, 2 to Virginia, after Nick Hamilton gets Virginia back on the board here at JPJ. The senior moving up a weight class, getting a dub against these Heels.